Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Terence "Bud" Crawford and Floyd Mayweather just went head-to-head live on air, and it got heated fast. Floyd downplayed Bud's historic win over Canelo, saying Canelo wasn't that good anyway. Fans instantly called it jealousy. 2 eras colliding. 2 legends who hate sharing the throne. Floyd's doing exhibitions with Mike Tyson, while Crawford is dominating divisions. The studio fell silent because everyone knew this wasn't just talk. It was a warning shot from a new king.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
At first, Crawford stayed calm, respectful as always. Floyd paved the way, no question, he said. But every generation has a king. I'm just doing me.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah. Nah, we ain't going out that much.
No.
But you know Floyd. He leaned forward and fired back. Canelo was never that good. Beating him don't make you me. The studio erupted. Fans flooded the live chat. Because if there's one thing you don't do, it's dismiss what Crawford just accomplished.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever, keep it real, boy. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
Boy, you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll be this. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Bud didn't just beat Canelo. He dominated him. 12 rounds of surgical precision. No controversy. No excuses. The face of boxing, made to look ordinary. And while Floyd's preparing for a Tyson exhibition,
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the fuck is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have 2 of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh this thing. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but it's happening.
Crawford's unifying the sport. That's when Crawford cut him off. Then prove it. Not on Twitter. Not in interviews. In the ring. The internet exploded. Crawford isn't chasing fame, he's rewriting history. For 120, 31 knockouts.
This is the situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division. forever the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo.
The first male boxer ever to go undisputed in 3 weight classes: lightweight, welterweight, super middleweight, and he did it the hard way. No cherry picking, no catch weights, no politics. From dismantling Errol Spence Jr., a fighter many thought was too big, to moving up to weight classes and outboxing Canelo in front of 70,000 fans.
And I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Yeah. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. Yeah. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time, but I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that, and not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
He hurt Canelo a couple of times, and he looked spectacular. Congratulations to Terence Crawford for that great performance, and man, it was a great fight.
Were you expecting more from Canelo?
I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting Canelo to knock out Crawford, to be honest with you, because it's 3-weight divisions. Well, he did fight one time, the higher division, but and to me, it's 3 ways, you know? He had to go up a lot in weight, and that's what I was expecting. But at the end of the day, you know, I got to give respect to Canelo. You know, he has done so much in boxing that it will be hard for somebody else to achieve and make. He trained hard, you know, and he said that he tried, but the body did not respond. And I've been saying that, you know, the body is worn out. You know, Canelo is young, but in boxing life, he's worn out.
Crawford isn't just the best right now. He might be the best ever. Even respected analysts like Max Kellerman admit it. Crawford's resume might actually be cleaner than Floyd's. Because here's the truth. Floyd's 50-0 is legendary, but a lot of those fights came at the right time. Pacquiao when he slowed down. Mosley passed his prime. Meanwhile, Crawford has taken fighters in their peak and shutting them down completely. Floyd fought to protect his 0. Crawford fights to protect his legacy.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about right. You say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxer?
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
That's why fans today don't just talk numbers, they talk impact. While Crawford climbs higher, Floyd's empire seems to be cracking. To be fair, Floyd Mayweather changed boxing forever. He turned it into a billion-dollar sport, built the money brand that made fighters rich just by saying his name. But now, that shine is fading. The once undefeated king is now promoting circus fights.
Saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT, greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
I beat this guy. It's an excuse. I beat this guy, you know, and he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, you know, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. You know, we really didn't realize it until now, when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing. You know, and the way that I handled that, people like, oh, man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. And I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose. You know, so I just think, you know, when you that much better than the competition, you know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude was good.
Like his upcoming exhibition against Mike Tyson. Yes, Tyson, 58 years old, still throwing bombs. And fans aren't impressed. What was once the best ever is now being called the greediest ever. Because this fight doesn't add to Floyd's legacy. It risks it. Doctors, pundits, even fellow fighters are calling it reckless.